Anyway, this morning we have an expert from HP. His name is Shannon Norrel. He works for the Chief Technology Officer at Hewlett-Packard, and he's a VR evangelist. He's building a virtual city on Mars, and this is perfect way in order to proof out technologies in terms of what a city on Mars will actually work like. And Shannon, come on up. Tell us about our virtual city. Thank you.
All right, so good morning. Before we get started, how many people in the audience have used or tried virtual reality? Good. I'd say 80% or more. Awesome. All right, so as you may suspect, one of the key tools to actually ultimately colonizing Mars is to, have a trial run to actually ideate and build a virtual colony, so we can kind of see how it's going to work before we actually, land there and start building. So we've put together a partnership between HP and NVIDIA and Autodesk and Technicolor, which is effectively a contest to create and ideate and create a colony on Mars that we can tour virtually. So let's see. Oh yeah, by the way, you guys may not have known, but in 2016 we sent up, I think it was, I don't know the number, 15, let's say, Z-books to the ISS. So they're up there running right now. There's HP computers on the space station. Kind of proud of that. So when we did that, we said, what can we do next? What else is cool? So came up with this idea of reinventing life on Mars. So it is a sort of a crowdsourced project that anyone can join. By the way, go to hp.com/go/Mars to sign up. And it's in 3 phases. The first phase is going to be, let's see if my slides cover the phases. There's our partnerships: NVIDIA, Technicolor, Autodesk, Unreal, HTC Vive. All right, let's just follow the slides. All right, so we've mapped out 40 square kilometers of Mars Valley. It's called, in Latin, I can't pronounce the word. Valles Marineris, thank you. So it's been scanned in really high detail, 40 square kilometers. There is a version of that called Mars 2030, which is available on Steam for HTC Vive, that lets you actually tour this terrain, so you can see what the high-res terrain looks like. Okay? All right, so here we go into the phases. The first phase, which is, like I say, it's being set up as a contest with pretty amazing prizes actually for each level, is due October 15th. And what that amounts to is basically concept drawings, just can be drawn out on a whiteboard and a picture, and as long as it's submitted as a bitmap, that's what the entry is for. And designing either buildings or sections of the colony. Let's say we need an oxygen plant, we need probably a nuclear power plant, we probably need a hyperloop. I don't know. You guys decide. Whatever. You guys have been thinking about this for a long time. So then there's going to be judges. We have some amazing judges that will decide on who gets built for the second phase of the contest, which is a modeling phase. So we're gonna build up 3D models, and people again submit and be judged for prizes. 3D models of pods and or buildings or transportation systems or whatever various components are required to build a virtual colony on Mars will be submitted, and you can use Autodesk products, you can use whatever your SolidWorks, whatever you're familiar with, Maya, it doesn't matter, and submit these things. Now, again, there's a second phase of judging for the 3D models and the ones that are chosen will be then incorporated into a VR experience, which is going to be effectively guided by Technicolor. Now, Technicolor will take the models and build out the colony as we've designed it in the ideation phase, in the first phase. And in case you didn't know, Technicolor did the special effects for The Martian. So they're quite good at rendering and lights and things like that. So there's some other contests in phase 3 I'll get to in a minute. So there we go, the Mars VR experience. That's the idea. Once this is all built, we can all go and tour the actual colony as it was built through ideating together as a crowdsource sort of mode. So we're also in partnership with LaunchForce. LaunchForce is very capable at doing co-creation platforms. So here's how you get started. Let's see. Yes. Okay, LaunchForce has, they have a leaderboard that we can log on. Once you sign up for the project, it has different large tasks that we do. The first one is urbanization of Mars. And as people submit projects, they're available online for other people to see. There's a leaderboard as far as people can upvote and downvote, things like that. You can also form teams. If you have a college team or a company team, you can all see how each person is doing or each team is doing in the context of the overall contest. There you go, supporting teams, the Mars Education League. So not sure exactly how you set this up, but it's available in their platform in LaunchForce. So there's the steps. Teams, innovate, submit your entry, track progress on the leaderboard. We have some world-renowned judges. We have subject matter experts that are unparalleled, looking for more. I'm sure there's probably a few in this room. We have some exclusive resources, in particular a trial version, I think, of Autodesk Fusion 360. It's a 3D modeling tool. I think we have a special license that people that are participating in the program can benefit from. And some of the prizes, let's see if we get to the prizes. Yeah, there we go. So they're actually pretty amazing prizes, pretty valuable prizes. So $5,000–$6,000 PCs, VR-capable machines, Z-books. So there's over $40,000 in prizes in phase 1. Oops. So you can see our esteemed Dr. Robert Zubrin as a judge. Some amazing folks up there. CEO of Autodesk, Ryan Church, Jay Rogers, Daniel Libeskind, Krista Fiara, CEO of DreamWorks, awesome. Dr. Sanjay, Stacy Wolf. Lots of great advisors across HP and various industries. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, there is a VR app called called Mars 2030, which has the scan, the 40-kilometer square scan of this valley. So that's available for download. I have this magazine out for free on the table. I suggest everybody pick up a copy. It's pretty nice. So there's kind of our timeline of events. Like I say, the submission deadline is October 15th for phase 1. The winners of that will be announced at Autodesk University, and the winners of phase 2 will be announced at VRLA in April. There we go. And once that's done, then the VR co-creation picks up by Technicolor. So they're gonna guide that. I'm not sure exactly the details and what the prizes are for the third phase, but it's it's going to be big, it's going to be good quality, and we're all going to be proud of it that submit, I think. So we hope that through the exploration of life on Mars, we will find interesting and promising ideas of how immersive media can help society now and in the near future. So there's a URL to go to sign up. Please do. I put together a meetup for us to kind of practice and get together and sort of hash through some of the details. If you go to meetup.com and look for Mars Home Planet, it's a meetup. It's actually held up in Palo Alto and Northern California, but we're going to be televising it, so or at least live streaming it on Facebook or something like that. So please sign up for that as well if you're interested. And I think that's it. All right.
Test.
So I take a
Question?
few minutes for questions, sure.
You mentioned the first phase submission deadline is October 15th.
Yes.
This is probably the magazine you're referring to?
Yep.
It says September 15th.
Yeah.
Which one should be?
October 15th.
October. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah.
Once the city is created, I'm wondering what the goal is, what it's going to be used for. Is it going to be used as an engineering tool, as a teaching tool, as a gamification, when it's all built, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah, well, particularly in the second phase of judging, it's going to be judged on engineering quality. That's one of the categories. Mechanical design, viability. I mean, when the designs are done, they need to incorporate things like the realities of Mars, the gravity, the high winds, the structural needs of actually building buildings there. So it's a meaningful virtual community. And as far as I know, we're just going to open it up for everyone to explore and just walk around and see this vision of the future. So it's going to be open source, I guess, is maybe the long and short of the answer.
Hi. Could you be more specific about, you said you were looking for subject matter, themes, topics, and also are you looking for scripts, concepts? What do you want?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just we're all in this together. We're all figuring it out together. So, to build a colony on Mars, we need people that are experts in,
But
for me.
what do you want us to give you?
Well, I would love to have someone that's an expert at building an oxygen plant.
So scientific.
I assume we need an oxygen plant.
Okay.
I assume we need a nuclear power plant. I don't know. You guys have been thinking about this a lot longer than I have. So tell me what kind of subject matter experts. We need a waste. How do we deal with human waste? How do we deal with growing plants? There are people with, expertise in this kind of thing that could really be valuable advisors and mentors for the participants and to the teams, etc. I mean, even interior design. How do we design the habitat so that it makes sense? Bunk beds, it's only 30% gravity, I think, right? Isn't that right? 36% gravity? So, maybe you can just leap up into bed so the beds can be up high. I don't know. So, hey. Oh, good point. I'm sorry I didn't cover that. The premise is that we're not going to worry about how we're getting to Mars. We're just going to be there. It's going to show up. And we're going to have 1 million people, 1 million people, habitat for 1 million people.
It's going to be mostly farm areas.
Okay. It would have to, you got to grow food. You can't bring it with you. You can't bring it with you. Just in a little bit of thinking through myself on this, we're going to be able to probably extract water from the ground. And that's a high temperature operation. And from the water, we're going to be able to split the H and the O2. So we're going to have hydrogen. We're going to have oxygen. Now, the hydrogen will probably fuel the earth movers, because we're going to need earth movers to move things, to dig the dirt up, right? So we need hydrogen-fueled vehicles on surface. Now we have this O2. Well, guess what? Breathable air, as you know, is primarily nitrogen. So where do we get the nitrogen? I don't know. Is that on the planet? Do you guys know? I'm sure you guys know. I don't know that it has it in the... It does. Okay, good then. 3%. So we need like a condenser for nitrogen, or we got to ship it with us there. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Not viable.
You could write a book.
Okay. Subject matter expert. Awesome, right?
So
Yeah, and to build a nuclear power plant, right, we need carbon. We need large amounts of carbon to build the pile, right, to contain the so how do we get that carbon there? Is that a mineable thing? I don't know. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's all around there.
How would we function as subject matter experts for this? Because as you are seeing, there's a lot of knowledge in the room.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
Can we set up a wiki or something where we can just start piling
stuff
in?
Meet me after, and I'll gather up names and contact information and share mine with you as well, and we'll figure it out together. But there's definitely a forum for that in the Launch Forth program, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, my email is shannon@hp.com. So it's.
Is your VR going to run on a Mac?
Ask Apple. No, I think their latest announcement is that they are VR capable machines, but we have to get support from Oculus and Steam to run on the Mac platform. Okay.
Fantastic project, Shannon. Thank you. So my question, two questions. First, is this open to international collaboration? Any teams from anywhere in the world can participate? Second question is, now you're focusing on virtual reality, but are there plans to expand later to include augmented reality and mixed reality?
Yeah, so first is it's absolutely an international competition. It's worldwide. There's no caps on that, and a lot of people have signed up already. I think it's in excess of 20,000 people have already signed up, and we're just really starting. The other is certainly the models themselves could be utilized to display augmented reality simulations of them. So one of the proposals was that we build a Mars home virtual environment at Burning Man. Okay, I'm a big Burning Man guy, and so I brought VR to Burning Man a couple years ago. VR camp, you look it up. Anyhow, if we just had some terrain, rocky terrain, etc. there, and we use these same models, and you can just walk around in the actual terrain, you can see the actual things with your AR setup and interact with them deeply. So yeah, why not? We got the data. All right, we got time for one more.
For the contest, do you accept only artwork and drawings, or like essay form style?
Yeah. At this point, the first phase is artwork and drawings in digital form. A picture was fine, and the second phase is actual 3D models. But there is a certain amount of just describing how things work and everything else. So we need to factor that in somehow. But it's not part of the official contest. All right.
You might want to look at Mars Homestead project. Oh, I'm sorry.
you might want to look at the Mars Homestead project. That's the goal with that is what equipment do you need to go to Mars with to automate 3D printers, factory, plastic production, things like that. What do you need to bring to Mars to build a small habitat? They have some designs on it that, and basically it's a factory to produce all the material you need to build the large greenhouses, whatever.
Yeah.
Probably would be in one end of the city or maybe in the center of the city, and it would be, say, these people built the infrastructure so we can build all the rest of this. So, but it's a small group of people that are going to start building everything and try and make it so that every
Rest
2
can
years,
come,
when
yeah.
it's practical to come, you can double that and start talking about building large buildings. And
So I think this project is a great opportunity to sort of, to your point, gather up the knowledge that has been building for years from this community and actually make it into something that we all can see and experience virtually and, you know, at least record it and learn from it and make it happen. All right.
You say it's going to be 1 million people. Are you going to, it might make more sense to start with a smaller city and grow it to 1 million, because to have all the infrastructure and all the engineering for 1 million people.
Yeah.
You say you're going to assume you're on Mars.
Yes.
Okay, you're assuming a lot there.
Yep.
But the second assumption is that you could put all that, you could design up front all that infrastructure. It might make some more sense to grow the city. It might be more fun too.
You're right. Yeah, but the supposition is that we just magically open a door and there's 1 million people that just move into this city and it's already there waiting for them. And what does that look like? How they get there and everything else and how it gets built is another project. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys.